Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakarkadash. Double honors to the elders who preach this word truthfully and sincerely. And Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say Shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a recent news article as of January 28th, 2023. And this is published by Marif Online from the Jerusalem Post, or alternative world news around the world. And it reads, rioters and police clashes in East Jerusalem. And keep this in mind, I did a video earlier where they had a earlier attack. I believe it was a 13-year-old Palestinian shot two people, and two of them was in critical condition. And this amends the current increase in tensions between the Israelis and the Palestinians. After a few days ago, the Israelis had that raid in the West Bank of, I believe, 9 Palestinians were killed, and a couple of them were injured. And then on the Palestinian side, it was a retaliation that happened a day or two later, I believe. It was like 8 people who died and 10 injured. And they attacked near the synagogue over there in Jerusalem over there. Now you have this right here, as it says, rioters and police clashes in East Jerusalem. So those tensions are definitely increasing over there in the Middle East, the West Bank part, and close to East Jerusalem as well too, between the Palestinians and the Israelis. It says violent clashes broke out between Palestinian rioters and Israeli security forces in East Jerusalem on Saturday evening. It says rioters threw stones, cocktail, it says, and fireworks at security forces. And it says Israeli police dispersed a demonstration in the Shufat refugee camp, which started after the arrest of an 18-year-old local resident who was seen handing out sweets to passing vehicles, apparently in the light of recent attacks. And this is the book of let's see, Luke 21 and 25. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. I meant to say Salakia. In the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, and there shall be signs in the moon and the sun, Salakia, and there shall be signs in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth disgressive nations were perplexities, the seas and waves one. Right, because we're seeing the increase of disgressive nations around the world, with these uprisings and tensions and hostility towards one another. It could be in many different aspects of it, for protesting reasons or resistance or economic sense or a political thing, etc., you name it. That's why he's saying the disgressive nations with these uprisings and protests around the world and these clashes between two different nations, the Israeli forces and the Palestinians, the resistance from them, and that's what we're seeing, And this is Matthew 24, verse 7. And for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, and that's what we are seeing, the increasing of the nations rising against nations, nations clashing it out against one another on two different sides, and that's what we are seeing. And that's what we're seeing over there in the Middle East between the Israelis and the Palestinians, You're seeing those two different nations of people clashing it out with one another. They got that hostility towards one another, and that's what we're seeing around the world. I'm gonna read it again. Matthews 24:7 in the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." Right, and that's what we are seeing. The nations are increasingly going against one another, and we're going to continue to see it increase against these different nations. So with that, just a quick sit down lesson that I wanted to bring out of the latest of what's going on over there in the Middle East. What tensions are increasing even more between the Palestinians and the Israelis, as you has right here as of January the 28th, 2023. Rioters and police clashes in East Jerusalem after the amending attacks that occurred for the past couple of days. So those tensions are increasing on both sides. So with that, once again, hopefully this lesson was edifying with the news article that I just brought out and read, and bringing out the scriptures in reference to this news article. And I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar. Double honors to the elders for preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom.